Hey guys, and welcome back to Trials and Tribulations. In the last part, we were going through the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo, and now we're going to prove that he's an idiot. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side of the spectacles of his green lens that was on his left side, I think he was going to say. Hold it! Whatever. So the victim was wearing an HMD. HMD, what does it matter? It was none of them, actually, but anyway. And you're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side? No question, I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. Yeah, that's pretty obvious if you look at the floor plans. From the opposite table, he'd only have a view of the side of the victim's head. The the left side, actually. He kept fiddling with it all the time. Why is that important? It seems you kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg. He was getting on my nerves, rustling that newspaper and fiddling with his earpiece all the time. And then he went and made all that fuss dying from one sip of Javicino. I wanted to say to him, calm down, you young brat. Just looking at him made me suddenly speed up my seed eating. I could have choked. So I take it the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. I don't know if this will get me anywhere, but the earpiece you mentioned... wrong voice. The earpiece you mentioned. Which hand did the victim touch it with? You're one of those people. One of those people who uses his left hand to get things out of his right pocket. Or fastens his left cup with his right hand. And when the tour guide says, on your right side, you'll see the famous blah blah, you're the only one who deliberately looks left. Well, aren't you? No, I didn't mean... Obviously, he used a hand on the same side of his body the earpiece was in! Ow, ow, ow. So if he had the HDMD on his left side, then it was left hand, I guess. I like that line, actually. The one where he's, the tour guide, I like that line. And then he used the same hand on his left hand. You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo. That's because I know what I saw, no matter what tricks you try to play on me. It looks like he really did see the guy picking up the cup with his left hand. It's a dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth. But even so, something's not quite right. Then chuck evidence at him until he breaks. But if he's not lying, there wouldn't be any contradictions in his testimony, right? Well, I think we've already established that. Okay, here. Let's look around. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so earpiece, fiddling with the earpiece and cup, and then his left hand. So it's mostly focusing on the earpiece. So I don't really have anything in here that relates to the earpiece. From here, he would have seen his left side. Profiles? No. Let's see. Left eardrum was ruptured. His left side. Objection! Boom. Suck it. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there's something very strange about your observations of the victim. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What did you just say? You're no doubt unaware... Oh wait, you're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. But the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Epic finger point. Eh? Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible for that the victim was wearing his earpiece on his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon. Pretty pigeon. Wow. The pigeon song. It's not exactly much of a tune. Order, order, order. This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Kudo? Ugh. A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Wow. Captain, are you calling me a drip? Yes, he did. This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down. I know I'm right. The lad drank his Javachino with his left hand. Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. That just sounds funny to me. It's impossible that he switched hands whilst drinking a liquid. That is totally unheard of. No one would ever do that. Okay. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of cup of coffee. Epic finger point. Objection. Which hand the victim used to pick up the coffee is... Wait. Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With one hand or the other, Mr. L drank the poisoned coffee. Like this! Epic coffee drink! Sorry. Sadly, Mr. Kudo, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory was credible. And the results are clear. He needs to have his nose amputated! Okay, sorry. The testimony given by this witness is useless. I like it. It's funny when he does spit takes. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old fogey. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. Nice. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Hold it. Yes. Wait! God, my voice dies when I try to do that. If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo? Thanks to that blue-suited young upstart over there, I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now. How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do. I've kept my mouth shut until now. But there's something else the court should know. What? There's more? To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? He's looking right at me like I'm sort of an evil shogun. Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javachino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it will be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet. Much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. Ha ha ha. You better get ready, youngster. I get the picture. Just quit throwing seeds at me, would you? You gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. Oh, that's a good line. Alright, the final showdown. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javachino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down, Not really. That doesn't really do anything. Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. You're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man? No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo. Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging in everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain. That's why that's all you can think of. Smack. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please. Sure, why not? The final showdown. Let's do it. First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself. Tell me about that statement. The court generally prefers if witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo. Noisy brat. I'm warning you, I'm more savage than a macho man right now. I don't even know what that means. Ow, ow. He's chucking those seeds harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick. Nail him. Alright, the young boy slumped over on the table as soon as he jumped into the Javachino. Sure, why not? Just to be safe. The court has already heard that testimony, Mr. Kudo. I know that. I was just setting the mood. How else am I supposed to build up the suspense, The suspense? Isn't it enough? Should I work the audience a bit more? No, please continue, Mr. Kudo, as quickly as possible. Alright, now, where was I? Ah, yes. The young boy slumped over the table, and... while the clumsy idiot upset the vase, he knocked it right over. Okay. A vase, you say? Yes. There are vases on all the tables in that place. There are accidents waiting to happen. They're practically begging to be knocked over. Well, he's right about there being vases. I do remember seeing them, too. There was a vase on the table when I ate lunch there. And you saw the moment when the victim actually knocked over the vase? Well, it's hard to say. It's a bit unclear. How do you really define... Okay, I get it. I heard it break, and the side of it is burned into my memory as clear as day. Okay. It broke and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, I already know what to do because I remember what the crime scene looks like. Crime photo. It's up. Hello? Objection! Stupid. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene. So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm no granddad of yours, Hopscotch. Ow, ow. I'll just humor him and pretend he's actually hurting me. Enough! My ship sails in the evening. If you sorry, if you throw away any more seeds in this court, I didn't. Damn it! I couldn't finish what he said. What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes? Go on. The broken vase. Haha! It was on my table. What? Well, you see, it startled me when that young lad collapsed, so I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean. The vase on your table? Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Thank you for that. Kudo, stop smiling at that. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today. Ha ha ha! Get it? Because that's his name! I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Arg! Wait a minute! If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh, yes. I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom. Wait, listen to me! Wah, wah. Never to be seen again. Except not really. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. ... exclamation point! The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we've heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup and the victim supposedly drank with his left hand. And the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it! I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There's one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor? the witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, so he summarized it accordingly into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that. Kudo's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies, my own, yours, and Mr. Kudo's. Yes, Your Honor. Victor's testimony added to the court record. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies? That is all. This court is adjourned for now.